Hey Javier, I'm ready for you to crush my home buying dreams. Well, we're starting off on a positive note. Right now, my husband and I make $7,100 gross. We're taking home about $5,700 a month. We were looking online and we saw this perfect house for us in an area that we've been kind of eyeing. We currently live with our parents and we're not in a rush to move. However, this house is the one for me, the one I've been dreaming about. We currently have $80,000 in student loan debt, and combined our monthly payment is about $800 a month. Our credit score is in the high 600 range. We currently have 10% saved up as a down payment and about $6,000 of emergency funds that we're not going to use. We're looking forward to seeing your response and see realistically if this is the right move for us or not. Got it. Well, Denver, Colorado. Can't say I've been there. It's like a common thing now with every one of these videos. Never been there, but here it's nice. Here's the house in mention. It is in coming soon status, sorry. So we're not going to give out too much details, but it's 575, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. I don't know. We're just always going to assume that we can try to negotiate something off, because if you're buying in this market, the goal is that you save some money at least on that. So we're going to put 560. You can put 10% down, so we're going to put that down there. Interest rate right now, according to the numbers, was at 6.4, FHA 6.3. With your credit score, you are going to be in the FHA range, but it's all right. Interest rate's a little better. So let's go 6.3 rate. Loan years, of course, to 30 years. Property tax rate, let's figure out what the tax rate would be in Denver. Someone left a comment the other day, like, why do you leave this stuff in the video? I mean, this is it. Like, I want you guys to be able to do your own research, and this is it. Like, I don't know anything about Denver. I don't know anything about the property taxes. So I'm leaving this in so you guys can get a good idea of how to do it. So here it looks like it is assessed as a 6.95 of the actual value. But we have to be careful here because the assessed value is what we're looking at. And a lot of states will release what they assess the values are. So in this case, we can look at the public tax history and say the tax assessment of this house was $31,400. So we can assume that the taxes are going to be $2,410. Looks pretty cheap. It's always weird with these property taxes, but let's just take an educated guess and say about $2,400. Insurance premium we're going to leave at $1,000, and of course our PMI will do about $100 a month. Our principal and interest is $3,100, and our total payment is $3,526. At this high interest rate at 6.3, we're paying quite a doozy on interest. $93,000 the first 3 years, $150K the first 5 years. Now, running very similar numbers, let's say you can buy down the rate to even a 5.5. Your monthly payment drops down to $2,800. Even if your down payment goes down to 5%, you're going to pay approximately $63,000 less of interest. So that's the monthly payment that you're going to have to be around. Okay, you're going to have to be comfortable with essentially a $3,500 monthly payment. Now we're going to always estimate at the higher side. Yes, you can be cool and say, oh, it's only $2,800, but of course that means buying down your rate, and that's only considering principal and interest. We always want to account for everything. So the payment that you'll be looking at, let's just say as worst case scenario, $3,500. Best case scenario, maybe $29,000. So remember, to figure out what you qualify for, we get 50% of your monthly gross income. So your monthly gross income in this case is $7,100. We get half of that. But then what we do with that number is we subtract any monthly payments you have. So we will subtract the $800 from that point. Off the bat, I can tell you, you don't qualify for that. So I would implore you, perhaps adjust that price. Perhaps go a little bit cheaper. I mean, just looking around there, I can see $425. I can see $450. I get it. This one's super nice. It's super remodeled, and it's like the house of your dreams. But really adjusting that, say to $450, puts you in a much better position. Your qualifying monthly payment is about $2,877. After a big rate buy down, it would be $2,670. You're paying a heck of a lot less in interest. Yes, you might be able to qualify for it, but the problem with that is it still doesn't look right. Now, there's several budget models here, and I always explain it in every video, so I'll just save you the details and just go to the point. My favorite one is 33% of your net income. This still leaves about 66% of your income to pay your other bills, live your life, etc., etc. And that number is not great for you. 33% of your net income is about $1,881. So basically anything less than $1,900 will put you in a bad spot. And we're not even counting that's student debt. If we pay your student debt first, that number goes down lower. So I have it here. I have a calculation where essentially I can check mark this, and what it does is it subtracts the student debt payment before it calculates the actual like percentages. So by doing that, that reduces even further. And personally, that's tough. It's a tough spot to be. And I know, and especially with our generation, I'm 30. So what is that? Millennials. Darn millennials. We were raised and told the college is the way to salvation. Go to college, right? And unfortunately, a lot of us got stuck with student debt. And this is a good example. Can you buy a house? Yeah, technically you could. You might be settling for the area, might be settling for the house, but it is possible. But it's just concerning me that if you do get something, and say you get a $2,700 monthly payment, that's gonna be 47% of your net income. That's going to be about 38% of your gross income. It's only going to leave you about $2,200. Paying your mortgage, you pay your student debt, you only have $2,200 left to live your life. It's too tight. Denver is too tight. And listen, that student debt is a lot. And I can't come here and speak to you and say, oh, this is what you do to get rid of it. It's going to be unfortunate, but I think perhaps tackling that, getting more aggressive with that and lowering it, you have the ability to save. You have 10% saved of $500K. That's $50K. You're making some damage to it. Don't make emotional decisions when buying a house. Make financial decisions, because you're not buying a house. Like, this is kind of controversial, but you're not buying a house for your family. You're not buying a house for your kids. You're not buying a house for your future kids. You're really, if you think about it, you're buying a house for your future self, because your future self is going to live there longer than your current self is. That doesn't really make sense, but let's just go with this idea. Right now you can afford it. Right now you got the money for it. Right now that payment doesn't seem that bad, but your future self might be getting into issues. You don't know. You might go to the hospital. You might have some emergency issues. You might have, freaking insurance sucks nowadays. Getting a house where you're using 47% of what you bring home towards that payment is going to put you in a bad spot. So hold off. I know they're working on that whole forgiveness of student debt. Maybe that's going to help. Interest rate might drop a little bit too. That might help. Unless you get something for $300K and really get something under, I think it was $1,900 or $2,000, which I don't know is possible in Denver, but around that range. My opinion will be it's possible, but maybe hold off for just a bit. Okay. But of course, it is your decision to do with what you want. So I wish you well. Best of luck to you. If you're brave enough to send me your details, please send them to the email below, contact@javiervidana.com. And of course, if you want to access any of the home buying resources or anything you saw, links are in the description. What do you guys think? Should they buy? Should they not buy? Is Breaking Benjamin the best band ever? Yes, they are. Have a good day.